What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about 10 signs that you grew up in Britain. I absolutely love the idea for this video here. These are things that you would only know of if you grew up in Britain, so there is quite literally a 0% chance I'm going to be familiar with any one of these as an American, which already makes it interesting. But also, the things you grow up with, I don't know if this is nostalgic things or things you learn growing up in Britain or things you watch on TV. There's a lot, the stuff you learn when you're a kid growing up influences you throughout your whole life, and it's nostalgic and it's amazing, and Americans very much have that feeling towards things you grow up seeing in America, but I don't know what's going on in Britain. I don't know what the experience growing up in Britain is like, but apparently this list is going to single you out. 10 telltale signs you grew up in Britain right here. So let's check it out.
For this list, we're looking at the top things that people who grew up in Britain can best relate to, and are probably still influenced by.
Right.
A healthy helping of nostalgia is on its way.
Okay.
Number 10, you want to shout bogies in public. And it all dates back to the ever-popular feature on CBBC's Dick and Dom in the Bungalow, where the show's presenters took it in turns to say bogies in a quiet but crowded place at
is this like a reality prank show from back in the day or something? I gotta tell you, as an American, when I watched Harry Potter and heard a British individual say the word bogies, right? That's the word, right? Bogies? We're saying bogies? Yes. I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know what that word meant. That's not a word that is said in America, but I am very confident now that it means booger. As in, you know, the stuff that comes out of your nose. Okay. I never thought it would come full circle like this. And come up yet again in British culture.
Brave bogey. It's a
at ever-increasing volumes.
Bogies! That was a brave bogey. It's a 4.2.
Throw in the snotometer and some hilarious deadpan commentary, and bogies quickly became a kid's favourite pastime.
I like how some of the adults, the older adults here, are like laughing. Like it's so childish, but they're laughing. When the way he yells it is very unique. I can see why people would copy it.
Copied in school playgrounds across the country.
McCourt extends his lead. Who is this man?
If Dick and Dom weren't your cup of tea, there was plenty more Saturday morning chaos to watch, including Going Live and SMTV Live, at which point we should really pause to remember the brilliance of Wonky Donkey.
What's that?
Jack Cross.
Yes, that's it!
Wonky Donkey? I don't know what's going on. Was that an alligator? A stuffed alligator with a hat? Like Scottish? I don't know what's going on.
On every adult's lips. Number 9, you still go to Clark's for your smart shoes.
What? Nothing in this sentence makes sense either. You still go to Clark's, I guess that's a place, for your smart shoes? What are smart shoes? Is that some kind of British technology I don't know about?
Ooh, shoes?
No matter where or when you went to school, odds are your parents drag you to Clark's when it was time to buy shoes for the new term.
Okay.
What better way to spend the last few days of the summer holidays, eh? There was always that thrill of getting your feet measured by the shop assistant though, and Clark's did try everything to make their shoes appear more interesting than they actually were, including pretending that their products were actually magic.
I can't climb. Yes, we can.
Okay, I can wrap my head around that Clark's is a shoe store. I'm just not sure what a smart shoe is.
Just trust your magic shoes.
And so, to this day, it's a first thought for lots of us whenever we need some new fancy but functional footwear. Even if we don't end up actually buying them from Clark's, that leathery smell of stylish Velcro and all-weather slip-ons will never get old.
Wait, is it a brand of shoe that is associated with Velcro shoes that are easy to put on? Is that what makes them smart? So now it's, whenever you see that kind of shoe, You just call it a smart shoe or think of that? I think I get it. I feel like I grew up in Britain at this point. I think I totally get it.
Clarks, the only trainers in up to 4 with fittings.
Number
Okay.
8, Horrible Histories taught you everything you know.
Some achieve greatness, others have greatness thrust upon them.
The makers of this much-loved CBBC sketch show achieved something truly remarkable.
Horrible Histories? Horrible Histories. Everyone was watching Horrible Histories. That doesn't sound good, actually, by the title. Maybe the show's just very interesting.
They managed to make learning about history enjoyable. But
Okay.
of course, Horrible Histories started off as a series of books, charting the history of, well, pretty much everything, with snarky humour, alliterative titles, and a seemingly inexhaustible supply of gags about bodily functions.
Oh, this is like a super British brand. It was a book brand, a book series. Sarcastic and a little depressing, maybe, but in a funny way. Like, it's talking about horrible things that happened throughout history, right? But it's for children? Or, we don't have anything like this.
The transition to TV retained the fun and the gruesomeness, and it added some seriously catchy tunes.
Say I'm the king who brought back partying.
But best of all, the entire franchise even managed to get its facts right, making it a better bet for learning history than any Hollywood movie, that's for sure.
Oh, wow, on top of all of it, it's like a good source for historical information. Very good.
Number 7, you can't move house without quoting the Chuckle Brothers.
You can't move house. Move house, I don't know what that phrase means. You can't move? Like move the furniture? Or if you're gonna go live in a new house? You can't move house without quoting the Chuckle Brothers. I don't know who the Chuckle Brothers are, but do they have funny quotes?
Barry and Paul Chuckle rose to comedy greatness in the 80s and 90s with their unique slapstick humour and classic collection of quotable catchphrases.
Okay.
And their most famous saying, "To me, to you," is now brilliantly embedded in the British public consciousness.
Steady, steady to me. Okay, put it down, put it down. Steady, careful, careful.
Because who
It is slapstick humor. To me, to you, okay?
hasn't tried to shift a sofa, position a table, or even hang a photo frame without at least once referencing the Chuckle Brothers?
Oh, to move house just means to move stuff around the house. Is that what it is?
The glorious gimmick even inspired the rapper Tinchy Stryder to write a charity single. Other TV catchphrases that people born in Britain invariably hear themselves saying include "but we don't want to give you that," a la Millionaire, and Blue Peter's "Here's One I Made Earlier," from the days when owning a Blue Peter badge was every kid's dream.
Okay, like famous quotes from TV shows and stuff. That is like perfect example of showing where you grew up in the world. That makes complete sense.
Number 6, you still miss Woolies.
Nip down to Woolworths and get some from their new worth it value range.
The British High Street has changed a lot in recent times, but of all the shops we've loved and lost, surely Woolworths is the most missed.
What? Woolies? Is Woolies the name of a store, or is this a show? You still miss Woolies. Is it a show with these stuffed dogs? I'm a little confused.
That place sold everything, from the latest magazines to stacks of CD singles and children's clothing that
Wait, what's it called?
sold everything we've loved and lost. Surely Woolworths is the most missed. That place sold everything, from the latest magazines to stacks of CD singles and children's clothing that championed all kinds of questionable fashion choices.
Okay.
Whatever you needed, as the old slogan went, Woolies would have it.
There's always a
Oh, yeah, it's not a TV show. Woolworths. Oh, okay. This is several levels to this. Woolworths, maybe called Woolies for short, and it's a store. Got it. I get it.
saying that you could get into Woolies and you could get a needle or an anchor.
But the main attraction for kids and a fair few adults was undoubtedly the Pick and Mix, which sold an apparently endless supply of E-numbers in the form of cola bottles, cherry lips, and flying saucers.
Huh.
In fact, these sweets were so popular, the final ever bag of Woolies Pick and Mix reportedly sold for a staggering 14.5 grand.
What? Wait, what? So this was like a childhood staple for, like, there was also candy there? Woolies. This is like the most British sounding place I've ever heard of, by the way.
A bag of Woolies Pick and Mix reportedly sold for a staggering 14.5 grand.
A bag of Pick and Mix, some kind of candy, and it sold for $14,000 to the biggest Woolies fan in history.
Still a bargain, though.
History will record that after 99 years of trading, it was the recession of 2008 which brought Woolies to its knees.
No.
Number 5, half-finished football sticker books.
To maybe find footballers you've never heard of.
I don't know who these people are.
Got, need. Ooh, shiny. While sticker companies like Panini and Merlin claim that all football stickers were printed in equal numbers.
Huh. Okay, just off the bat, the idea of a sticker book for football players, I get it. It's not a thing in America. I don't even have anything I can really think of. Like we didn't have a sticker book for anything else, but I get it with the football. And incomplete? Is it have to be an incomplete collection? Because there's just certain players you're never going to get?
Yeah, right. Anyone who's ever tried to actually complete one of these things would suspect otherwise.
Okay.
Despite blowing all your pocket money on sticker packs and desperately swapping your doubles with your mates, it just never quite happened.
No.
If football wasn't your thing, your social status was probably dictated instead by how many Pogs or Pokemon cards you owned. But whatever your...
Yeah, Pogs. That's a bit older than even me. I wasn't quite into the Pogs, but certainly in time for the Pokemon card trading.
Your collecting craze was, they're likely now in a loft somewhere, relics of the time you nearly achieved the holy grail of childhood, a complete collection.
Look at all this, like, the football sticker books are serious business. Like, I've never seen a commercial for them, but they're flying everywhere. Everyone's going crazy, wanting the stickers. Okay.
Plus shinies.
It's the #1 collectible card collecting phenomenon that's sweeping the nation, although admittedly not very fast.
Number 4, Mr. Blobby still terrifying.
Okay, I'm glad that's like the sentiment here. It's terrifying.
A British childhood served up more than its fair share of scary TV characters, whether it was Mr. Nosybonk, the Demon Headmaster, or Wolf from Gladiators. And if you're one of the generation that watched Trapped, you spent many a moment worrying if the unsuccessful contestant really did end up getting locked in a tower for eternity.
Like all those before them, they'll be imprisoned at the top of the tower.
But perhaps the
Wow, this like gives me nostalgia for like my childhood. Just the way this is shot and the effects, and like it's kind of corny and weird. These types of shows are like, we didn't have any of these, but somehow this reminds me of my childhood, just seeing this.
creepiest character and general premise of them all came via Noel's house party. Mr. Blobby, with googly eyes, frozen smile and distorted screechy voice, became the most unconventional of pop culture icons. And he was also truly the stuff of nightmares. Just ask Jack Whitehall.
He's actually at the door right now.
No!
Oh my gosh! Was that...
Number 3, PV...
I mean, they gave him like a scary voice, and he's he's like knocking everything over. And why they gave him like an extra big grin? He looks like extra evil here for some reason. I feel like he wasn't always that evil. Okay.
Gosh! Was that...
Number 3, PVA glue still offers endless possibilities. Was there ever anything more excitingly versatile than a bottle of this stuff? And when you see the letters PVA, does your imagination not still go wild?
PVA glue. I'm not familiar with this, but like, it's glue? Is it special glue? Why does the glue deserve to be on this list?
Harking back to another iconic kids show, Art Attack, which also saw Neil Buchanan make giant collages in random fields, PVA glue featured so often in the series, you'd be forgiven for thinking half the world was held together by it.
Take some PVA glue and just identify all those edges that you want to join together.
Of course, our own artistic efforts were rarely quite as good as Neil's, but...
PVA glue. It's just like artistic glue that was featured in this show a lot. And like children and grown-up people alike could use it for art stuff, and I guess I get it. I'm surprised, like, a brand of glue is so prevalently known in people in the childhoods of Brits. Interesting.
But perhaps that's because we spend so much time accidentally getting glue on our fingers so that we could peel it off again. Hands up who still keeps a stash of this in the toolbox.
You know, I could say the same for this for Elmer's glue. Like, every child in America, like, is around Elmer's glue in school a lot. Because it's just glue for random stuff. Glue is fun. I get it. You know what? I get it.
Because you just never know when you'll need to paper mache a balloon, or something. Number 2, you have original Harry Potter merch.
Oh!
Hagrid, how am I to pay for all this? I haven't any money.
It's hard.
Original merch. What does that mean? Like when the first movie came out? Before the movies came out? Original Harry Potter merch? Oh, I'm sure every child in Britain was going even more nuts for Harry Potter than in America. And it was enormous here.
Hard to believe that there was ever a time when Harry Potter wasn't one of the biggest franchises in history.
Yeah.
Nowadays, Potter merchandise includes everything from egg cups to lip balms, all neatly emblazoned with a super stylized brand that'll keep the wizarding world running for years to come. But a few of us were lucky enough to board the Hogwarts Express before the rest of the world jumped on.
Students can create a perfect potion with the Polyjuice Potion Mix.
First editions of Book 1 are now worth tens of thousands of pounds, but even original figurines, trinkets and board games, the sorts sporting old school illustrations and lots.
The commercial they're showing, like, I remember this stuff. This weird potions making kits and funny, yeah, they pumped out the random Harry Potter stuff. Yeah, I remember that as a kid. Never thought that I should hang on to it, unfortunately.
Lots of purple could earn you a tidy little deposit for your personal Gringotts account. But are Potterheads ever likely to sell?
You must be joking.
Number 1, you yearn for proper packed lunches.
Okay, this is number 1. You yearn for proper packed lunch. So Britain, or maybe a children's lunch, packed lunch for school. There's a proper way to do it, the correct British way. I am very curious.
These days, most schools insist that packed lunches contain only healthy treats, but that wasn't always the case. Roll back the years a few, and the closest we came to our 5-a-day was a carton of Umbongo.
Okay.
Froobs, Push Pops, and Billy Bear ham were what the kids of Britain grew up on.
Billy Bear ham. There's so many random things I haven't heard of, but they're funny to me.
And as everyone knows, cheese tastes so much better when it's shaped into string, right?
Yep.
When we weren't eating snacks for lunch, we were probably down at the tuck shop buying Monster Munch and penny sweets that really did cost a penny.
Monster Munch and penny sweets. Yeah, there's a lot of the concept of a packed lunch in America does, like, bring me back, and there are certain things you'd find in, like, a homemade packed lunch. It's funny that that idea is the same in America and Britain. It just, what's in your lunch is a little different.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Or carefully carrying our Cadbury's mini rolls in those specially designed storage cases.
Well, we gotta stop him, we gotta stop him!
What?
Give in to your inner child.
Oh, yeah, like a Swiss roll, a ho-ho. Yeah, this is classic American as well, but not the Cadbury mini roll. Yeah, they're just called different stuff, but very similar.
Mine.
Now, as a grown-up, whatever you make yourself for lunch, it'll never live up to a dip dab and a Capri-Sun. It's a simple fact of adult life.
Huh?
Do you agree with our picks?
What was that thing? What was this thing? Why'd he pull its head off?
Dab and a Capri-Sun. It's a simple fact of adult life.
What was that? What was that? They just end it there. Huh.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo UK, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
Okay, that's it. That was good. That was good. As expected, I really was not familiar with any of these, specifically, especially the show ones for sure, but towards the end, like, there are concepts I understand, like the children's shoe brand you wore, or the packed lunch snacks that you had. That's like classic nostalgia. just wherever you grew up, you're gonna like think of those things fondly. But there was some really weird stuff on here. Definitely that inflatable clown guy who was pushing stuff over. Oh, the sticker books. The football sticker books. That's a good example of something that I absolutely get it for people who grew up in Britain, but I don't get it. It was never a thing in America, but, you know, there's equivalents to that, I guess. I don't know. We weren't really into the stickers, to be honest. Oh, and quoting different shows from your childhood. Yep, the shoes. Yeah, I like this. This is very entertaining, very random, but I like that. That's the only way you learn these truly like unique things about Britain as an American. It's the only way. You got to get into the weeds a little bit. So, that was good. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Britain, British culture, stuff in Britain that I've never seen or learned about before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.